What's up, lads? It's Addyman here. So, I thought I'd make another story video just 'cause they're pretty convenient to make, especially when I haven't got time to do face cam and set everything up. So, in this one, I thought I'd talk about the time I was pickpocketed in Madrid. Uh, it's a pretty funny story. Well, it's not, it wasn't fucking funny. It was pretty fucking annoying, to be honest, and hella inconvenient. But what can you do, right? So, I'm just gonna jump straight into it. So, me and my friend, let's give him a name. I'm gonna call him Mark. So me and Mark, we decided to go over to Madrid from Dublin for what was it, 4 days? So yeah, we went over on like I think it was a Thursday or something, and we came back on a Monday. This is only in like February, so it's not that long ago. But we wanted to go over to watch Atletico Madrid play, and so we did that. We bought tickets and everything. We booked our flights and blah blah blah, so on. So yeah, the day came. We travelled there. We were fine, but I was working the night before. I was working in a pub at the time, so I didn't get much sleep. So I was pretty fucking tired, and it wasn't fun. But I battled through it. It was okay. And yeah, we got there pretty early in the day, and then yeah, it was a good day. We went back to where we were staying, and then we went out for food. We decided to go down to the Atletico Madrid stadium for the day. We walked down there. We had a look around and everything. It was pretty cool. And we came back after having lunch and everything, and we went back to sleep for about an hour, I think, before we went out for the night because we wanted to go out and see some of the city. Go out and hit some bars and clubs and whatever the fuck. So yeah, we did that, and yeah, it was pretty good. Like, I mean, we went around a lot of these local places. Like, so we went from bar to bar, like, because they have like all these cafes in Madrid and stuff where they can serve drink. They don't have that in Ireland because I don't know. It's kind of a weird setup here. But there's a lot of really harsh rules here compared to there. Like, there, everyone drinks everywhere. But anyway, so we did that. We went to a couple of different bars. There was a lot of them around where we were staying, and yeah, it was pretty fun. Like, the drink was super cheap too, so that was great. And yeah, so we moved on. We found this nightclub, and we were outside for fucking ages. And like, it turned out we were standing in the wrong queue in the first place, and we got talking to these people like, "Oh, you're in the wrong place," blah blah. We're like, "Oh, grand." So we moved over to this different queue, and we're standing there, and we're like, "Okay, what's going on here?" Like, there's a lot of people just waiting, and we realized after about 20 minutes the queue just wasn't moving. Funny story though, in that queue, these like nobody around us spoke English, so we thought it was funny. We started like saying some really stupid shit, and my friend Mark was like, "Oh yeah, well, fucking yeah, she wants me dick in her mouth and all this shit," right? Just joking. And this girl behind him, like, she was started speaking English, and we were like, "Oh fuck." Thankfully, she didn't hear it, but yeah, we got to talk to them anyway, and they kind of explained what was happening. And we were like, "Oh, okay." So we eventually just moved on, and yeah, I mean, we were feeling that at this point. We were fairly drunk, and that was fine. So we were like, yeah, let's just try and find some place. And a lot of the places at that time of night, like, there was clubs and stuff still open, but like they weren't really taking people in, and we just kind of went by all these places, but all the kind of nice little bars and stuff, they were closed. So we stumbled around and all for a while. We went into some, like, I don't know what you call it, like a fucking news agents. I went in and got like some drink and some food and stuff, and yeah, we just moved on, and eventually we were walking home, and we were staying in this kind of like hostel. It wasn't a hostel so much; it was like kind of like an apartment block with like a couple of like really, like, I don't know, kind of small rooms inside it, but it was a nice place and everything. And we were walking by, and Marcus had bought Oreos and decided to fuck them over the gate into the place rather than walk up to the room and put our stuff in. Because when we saw, like, just in front of where we were staying, there was a nightclub, and we were like, "Oh shit!" Like, not in front, but just up the road. And we were like, "Oh shit!" Like, maybe we'll go there. Like, so we went up and we found out it was like, what, like €10 in each or something. So we did that. And so we went in, and with entry you got like a free drink and stuff, so that was fine. So we went in and we got our drink and everything was grand. Like, the place was absolutely fucking packed. I mean, there was probably, I don't know, I'd say, there could have been like 1,000, 2,000 people in there. It was fucking, I don't know, maybe I'm exaggerating a bit, but there was a lot of fucking people. Like, I mean, there was probably, I'd say, like, I mean, like 800 people in there, maybe. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my perception was like a bit blurred by the drink. I don't know, but it seemed like there was a lot of fucking people in there. So it was pretty fucking busy. So yeah, I was just kind of like, we were like, okay, so we got our drinks, we walked over, and we just started dancing and shit, as you do, fucking typical nightclub stuff. And after about maybe 2 or 3 minutes, I just like decided to check my pockets just to make sure everything was still there. And it was kind of cold that night, so we did have jackets on us, but we had, I don't know, we kept them on but unzipped, like. And so I was just like, I checked my pocket. I was like, "Oh, it's still there. It's in my outside pocket, but it's zipped up." I was like, "All right, that's fine." And literally, I'm talking literally 10 seconds later, I walked from where I was standing just to slightly across the room, and I checked my pocket again, and the fucking zip was down, and the phone was gone. And I checked everywhere. I was like panicking. I was like, what the fuck? And like I just kept checking for about 10 seconds. I was like, what the fuck? Like what the fuck? And I turned to Mark and I was like, what the fuck happened? Like where the fuck? Like my phone is gone. Like he was like, what? He was like, my phone is gone. He was like, what do you mean it's gone? I was like, I just got fucking pickpocketed, I think. And he was like, what? And I was like, oh my god, what the fuck am I gonna do? So I started like frantically looking around, see if I could see anyone suspicious and shit. Uh, and for a while I couldn't, like, I mean, probably for a good 30, 40 seconds I couldn't see anything. But then I saw this one guy and he kind of like walked off like really quickly away from where I was standing, and I kind of followed him and looked at him and was like, no, 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 it's not him, because I saw it, like, it was just the way he was holding his phone in his hand. It looked really dodgy, but it wasn't him. So I was like, fuck, that's not him. So I walked back into the main room and I'm like, oh god, what am I gonna do? And I keep looking around. And I turn to my left, right? I see this guy and he's like dancing with, like, near these two girls, but he has his hand in the girl's pocket, and the girl's pocket is like pulled away from where she's standing. And I was like, what the fuck? Like that guy's fucking like he's robbing someone again. And I turned to my friend Mark and I'm like, yeah, like I can like, will you watch him? I'm gonna run off and get a bouncer or something. He was like, yeah, sure. So I walked up to this bouncer and I'm like, yeah, like my phone just got robbed, and like the guy, I can see him doing it again. Like at first I was like, oh, do you speak English and stuff? And he was like, yeah, or a little bit. And then I was speaking to him and he was like, oh, there's nothing I can do. I was like, what do you mean there's nothing you can do? Like he just robbed me and he's robbing somebody else right now. And he was like, yeah, yeah, there's nothing I can do. I was like, what the are you for fucking real? And I just fucking stormed off, right? Well, back to where the guy was standing, where Mark was standing. And so I go up and I'm like, yeah, he's not going to do anything. He's like, what do you mean he's not going to do anything? I was like, what am I going to do? So I walk over to where the guy is and I'm like, oh man, come here for a second. He's like, what, like, you know, obviously Spanish accent and stuff. And I was like, oh, yeah, just come here. I just want to talk to you for a sec, right? So I just pull him aside, and we're walking it towards the door, kind of like not quite at the door, but into like the lobby, a bit further away from where the music was playing. And I'm like, yeah, so I'm pretty sure you have my phone. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, you want to use my telephone and all this shit? I was like, no, like I don't want to use your telephone. I was like, look, I'm not trying to cause a problem, but I've seen you with your hand in the girl's pocket. Like I want my phone back and all. And he was like, you're crazy, you're loco and all this shit. And I was like, no, I know you have my phone. And he kind of pushed me, right? And I just was like, what the fuck? So I like grabbed him and I started screaming in his face like, don't fucking push me, don't fucking touch me, all this shit, right? And then whatever. Then he kind of, after a second, like he like backed straight down, right? Because we were head to head, like, and he just like backed straight down, and he just turned around and he was like, yeah, wait a minute and all this shit, and like walked off. And he comes back 2 seconds later, right? With like Marcus in the meantime is like to me, Adam, like, come on, let's just go, let's just leave. And I was like, no, Marcus, I'm fucking angry, blah blah blah. Or like, yes, you know, as you do. So you try to stand your ground and be a hard man or whatever. And so yeah, so I did that. And then like 2 seconds later, this fucking guy comes back with a group of his friends, and there was probably like four guys. And like one of them kind of came towards me, and Mark stood in front of me and kind of pushed them back. And he was like, "Oh no, lad, stop!" And like one of them came towards me, and I was like, you know, ready to fight or whatever. And the other guy came back, and I was ready to fight him as well. Like there was like four guys, and I was like, "Yeah, fuck, I don't care," because you know I was fucking angry as fuck. And you know, realistically, yeah, we were outnumbered in a place we didn't know, and we didn't know how many people were with them. And in hindsight, it was probably a little dumb to start a fight, but you know, anybody would have done it in the same position, especially thinking the guy was there still robbing somebody. So yeah, I stood my ground and all. But as this was happening, this really big fucker who I didn't know was with them started walking over, right? And Mark was like, man, and I was just like, no, 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 you know, getting ready to fucking like fight these four guys. And he was like, like Adam, like seriously. And I was like, what? And then I just see this big guy like coming towards us, right? And like, but it was so weird, right? Because at the same time, like two of the other friends got in front of the two guys that were trying to fight us, and then he came over and he was kind of like, you know, ready to fight. Like, what's the problem? But as they did that, they were just like, no fighting, no fighting, and all this. And then they just kind of broke it up, and like the guy who I had originally confronted like kind of walked off, and then that guy, like the big tall guy, was kind of like, you know, he just kind of patted me on the shoulder or whatever, and was like, it's okay, man, it's okay, or whatever. And like the two guys, like they all just kind of like, you know, like semi shook hands and walk off kind of thing, like. And I was just there like so pissed, and like I was like, oh fuck this and all. And Mark was like, yeah, let's just go, man, let's just go. And I was like, fine. So we started walking out towards the lobby, right? And like he kind of stops me. He was like, "Are you fucking insane?" And I was like, "What? What do you mean? Am I insane?" I was like, "What? What do you think I should have done?" And then me and him kind of had like a little. I wouldn't say like a fight, but we had like kind of a disagreement because he kind of was like saying how stupid I was to start a fight in a city I wasn't from, in a place I don't know and all. But obviously from my standpoint, I was going, well, yeah, I just got fucking robbed. I seen a guy robbing somebody else, and of course I'm pissed, and of course I'm gonna try and stand my ground. Whatever. We kind of had like a bit of a confliction, but we walked back to the room and all, and like I was just so angry, and like he just went to sleep, and I had no way to contact home or anything. And it was pretty fucking frustrating. So I just went for a walk and all. I tried to retrace my steps back to other places, making certain that like I couldn't have lost my phone somewhere else along the way. But I knew because I checked my phone already and I had the phone on me. So I was like, oh man, this is fucking ridiculous. And you know, you could say like it's only a phone. Like why was I so pissed? The reason was I didn't have the phone that long, and because I had a lot of really sentimental stuff on it that I hadn't got backed up, like just like pictures and like really important occasions, like my goddaughter, who was also my niece, like her first birthday and stuff. There was pictures from that, and yeah, I was fucking pissed. But eventually, I came back to the room and like I was just so angry, and I fell asleep. And then the next day, I had to contact my girlfriend and my family and let them know that, like, you know, I hadn't got a phone on me, and it'd be a bit awkward contacting them for the next few days because I had to use my friend's phone instead. But yeah, so that's what I did, and you know, in the end, it turned out like not to be that big of a deal. Like, you know, we had an amazing time. Like the next day, like me and Mark got up, we talked about it. We kind of laughed about it too. Like we no, in church we did. We laughed it all off, and it was grand. So yeah, we enjoyed the rest of our trip. Like I mean, like I just took photos on his phone instead because he wasn't really into taking photos as much, I don't think. Uh, and there was a lot of like really cool shit that happened over the rest of the time we were there. Like we had some amazing nights out, and like we met some really cool people. But there's some other stories from a time in Madrid that I will come back to, but that's that one for now. But yeah, so that's the time I got pickpocketed in Madrid. I nearly fought fucking five guys and probably had the shit beaten out of me, and then probably would have been arrested too. So that wouldn't have been fun, especially not on the first day there after having such a good time. And with everything I had planned ahead, it really would have sucked. And also, like the next day, I went to the police station to report it, and like it took like 2 hours to get the fucking report done and everything. I don't really know what the outcome would be. Like if they got the phone back, like they said they would like contact me and everything, but that never happened. I wasn't expecting it to, but at least like it meant the IMEI number and stuff would be blacklisted. And yeah, so what I want to do is like, because the job I'm in now, I have the option to check IMEI number. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just check it and just make sure it is blacklisted, because you know it's possible that they didn't follow up on it at all and just like threw the paperwork out. I don't know, but yeah, if you enjoyed the story, then leave a like, and always remember to subscribe because I'm gonna keep releasing new content. If you want more stories, I'll give more stories, but I'm also gonna do face cam and gameplay and shit like when I have the time. I've just been super busy lately, and I've college coming back and everything too, so that's kind of inconvenient. But you know, in terms of YouTube videos anyway. But yeah, just if you want more, you'll get more. So I hope you liked it. Peace. I guess I gotta walk towards them, like, lads. What are you doing? What are you doing?